got to make it known and use it to educate people. I mean, and it's not for Negroes and Arabs. What Allah allowed us to come through is for everybody. You know, we got a special message for white folks. Because white folks are getting hurt so bad, they don't have no idea why. You know, all the heroin overdoses now is mostly white folks. They don't want to link it with oppression. They think they just, and I know, starting 25, 30 years ago, I was traveling all over the country, going through all these little towns in New Mexico, Colorado, everywhere. And I looked, I said, oh, look at here. America is not. They was on the beginning stages of heroin, and I asked my poor son, I said, man, what's happening with the heroin down, you know, because in the black neighborhood, heroin is low, then it gets big, and then, like any drug, when they wipe out a whole crew, the kids behind them saw, man, heroin knocked them over. So they don't go to heroin in huge numbers because they saw what it did. So they kill themselves with crack or something, you know what I mean? Then everybody see crack, then remember anything? They go back to heroin and stuff like that. So I asked recently, not that it was family members, what is everybody dealing? Not that they do it themselves, but it's dope pills.
Prescription.
Drugs.
Right.
And,
right.
And, okay. That's how they hooked white folks through prescription drugs, leading them to heroin.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? Because see, when they come out with books like White Trash, that mean now, then we wanted to divert niggas from revolution, all that. We done done that. We done already knocked them 3 or 4 times. But white folks has never felt as useless as now. And they don't know why. We don't have no jobs for you. We don't have nothing. So we got to have you run around and cause trouble in your neighborhood and give us all the money back. You know. And they don't realize that all of this money and drugs was all built up for a pattern. The more drugs they have, or they bring in, then what goes with drugs? A bigger police department. The lowering of the threshold of breaking and entering and kicking the door down, right? Because this is a criminal environment. They did it to us over and over again, and they do it to white folks. Now, white folks have like Negroes, they got it real bad. They got it so bad they don't know. First, they hit them with crystal meth. Now, I will admit that I was the biggest crank dealer in the region. Dynamite water. Boy, it just knocked your shoes off. And that's what white folks started. All the Midwestern town, right there in Indiana. What the white folk kids doing outside of the city? Labs. All over Indiana, Ohio, Middle America. It ain't no that old Middle America. Middle America, the whole language of drugs. Drugs is a sickness now, and it needs treatment. Right, because all
It's a disease.
it's a disease. They're going to have to legalize it. We've been telling them that for years. Not because Islam supports it, but it's a tactic that you use to keep the people down. Now they can't afford it. The war on drugs, hey man.
You hear about that no more.
No, because the people independent, it was the longest war and they never had victory.
Right.
And you notice the peace treaty the FARC and the Colombian government?
Recently.
Recently, okay. They had to make that treaty. See, if you go back 25 years ago, the FARC started getting into drugs. Or they charged their big revolutionary organization, well armed. Hey, you guys are working in our areas, so you have to kind of help us out. After they started helping them out, they got into drugs themselves. That's why the stuff they always, for the peace treaty, they always going to Cuba, right? This is what they say. Of course, I know a revolutionary group would not use Cuba as a staging area, because Fidel wouldn't allow that, to send drugs to the America that was killing them. Because he's Fidel, he's faithful, he's fidelity. Now that's what people say. Now think about it. The FARC it got a defense budget that wouldn't wait. You go back 15 years ago, they started buying the most modern weapons, Israeli of course, weapons you could get. Right, because they got a budget now, a defense budget, cocaine, right? Why do you think they sent 7 military, U.S. military bases to Colombia? Why? Because they're cutting in on the U.S. business. And they're taking that money and fighting against their stooges. And they're able to fight against America. And the more money they get, the more freedom they get, and the more weapons they get, and the more everything, the more intelligence network, the more people the FARC sends into the United States, the more they can buy. They can do anything they want because they have billions of cocaine dollars. And it disrupts their main enemy a little bit. And they get, for a while, they take over 25% or more of the country of Colombia. That's when they sent the U.S. military down there. 7 U.S. bases in Colombia to make sure that they don't take over the country and to cut them back from the money. Even the U.S. will admit this is the wealthiest revolutionary group in the world. Of course it's wealthy. It's selling cocaine.
You know how many times we've seen Bruce Lee and Enter the Dragon? Enter the Dragon is really a movie about drugs.
Yeah.
That's what it's really about. It ain't about nothing else. And in that movie, that's what the guy said. Mr. Hahn, he tells me, he said, takes the guy downstairs, the guy sees that opium.
Right.
He said, uh-oh, opium. He said, yes, Mr. Roper. He said, we are in the business of corruption.
Yeah.
He said, the business of corruption is just like any other. So that's what they hear. That's what they do. I mean, when you talk about drugs here, you've been talking about for years, people don't really understand how big drugs are and what drugs do worldwide, how countries are run through drugs, and they have no idea. None.
Do you think it's true that, because it came out in 2008, that it was drug money that helped with the bailout here in the U.S. when
Wall Street?
Yeah, the Wall Street thing. That's what was said. So
it's possible, but here's the thing: is drug money is in everything. Because you remember the Kennedys got big on rum running.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody got big in rum running. They planned the drugs pretty well. When they had prohibition, they noticed what happened. First of all, if people want to drink, which it was a custom in those days, you can't stop them. So that made Mexico big and they made Canada big. They just sent boatloads. And suppose you live in Texas you think they're going to keep whiskey out of Texas when it's right across the border? And ain't no such thing as border guards and all of that. They just loaded up California and all those places And in Canada, you think Michigan, Chicago, that's where Al Capone them was. They was running them boats, they ain't got no good coast guard, they just running boats right across from Canada all the time. Okay, but what it produced before Prohibition, most illegal money was in gambling and women, which compared to alcohol and drugs is chump change. Al Capone in the mid-20s was making $720,000 a week. In the 20s. In the 20s. That was when money was real per week. Okay. So now, drugs made the criminal bigger than definitely the city government. So you got to bring in the feds to finish them off. The other thing was, if you prohibit something, it makes the price go sky high, and you develop a criminal institute that will eventually, I mean, in a few months they're going to be able to buy city protection. So by the time the feds come in, they're going to be so big you can't root them out. They could not root out. The only time they had any real effect on the mafia was in the recent years. It definitely wasn't way back then. It kept growing, and the guys now just got like rich mafioso grandkids. Who cares about real gangsterism and La Cosa Nostra? They start snitching everything because it's third generation of rich kids. They're not like their granddaddies was. You know, he used to call them Mustache Pete's the whole time. The Black Hand and all that stuff from, the book stuff. So anyway, here's what happened. When they put drugs on us, they did it in a way to, niggas are not gonna repeat what Italians did. That's why that was my model. I grew up on Untouchables. The whole organization, syndicate, national gangster. The reason I have so much thing with the government now, that they spend, the amount of money they spend on me is ridiculous. Because they know that's the way I think. I think like that. It's automatically. Okay. That's why they keep offering that. Don't you want to develop your international cartel? It's your dream. See, yeah, boss man, but hell, that was 50 years ago, man. That was 45 years ago. Don't nobody want to be no big nigga with a lot of money that ain't gonna do nothing with it. But you can build a mosque. They'll say, yeah, as soon as I build the first one, then y'all will put a bomb in the next shipment or something. The brother got enough sense to know. Plus, the main reason is this, boss man, and this guy. Boss man don't want it. In life, there's nothing you could offer that's as good as this. Now that sounds, to him, he looks at it materially. He said, well, we confiscate your money. I said, yeah, but it don't have no effect. We're gonna have to give it back. And I think he was doing it to help. Really, whether you do it or not, I think y'all been trying to help. The way y'all's behavior is helping.
Psychological guerrilla warfare.
Psychological guerrilla warfare. Whether, it don't make no difference why they do what they do, it's that they do it. You know what I mean? It's that when I was in Vegas, remember?
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting ready to get on the plane, they talk to me crazy. I said, who the hell are you talking to? Well, you have to be quiet. I said, ain't nothing in this here, so they took me to jail. I got to slip Las Vegas jail. They do that stuff all the time. But that's a pattern of behavior. Would you kick your ass a little heat in? Not that I'm cold or nothing. Okay, so all this denial of civil rights and our case the message to the white folks, this is an Islamic, see, we have to tell people what's happened to them. Nobody else will tell them. You know what? Maybe most people don't know.
They don't.
A message to humanity.
That's what it is. That's what the message to the white folks is. That's right. It is a message to humanity, but the message to each segment of humanity. Now, that's all about Islam. That's what we see. Whether they like it or not, we're going to have our media so effective that there's some kind of way they're going to have to be paying attention to us. If they don't, we'll have somebody do it ourselves, jump off the Empire State Building with flaming underwear on and a parachute or something. You know, we're going to make sure they ain't going to not, because, you know, when you're a Negro, you will show your behind. They're going to look at here. They're going to listen to what we got to say, because it's our duty. It's our responsibility. The stuff that Allah put Moses through, the stuff that, hey, I'm not bragging, there is nobody in the United States, no agent, no politician, no professor that's been through, when I watch all the documentaries, this special professor locked in on Afghanistan, and he did a good job. But he don't know nothing about Latin America, Sri Lanka, Canada, nothing. All of this, and the two messages I got, one 15 years ago at least, it's not us, it's rogue elements inside the NSA. I don't know if you remember, I read that in one of Juma's. I read that in one of Juma's, a message I got about rogue elements inside NSA. And that goes back a good 15 years easy. I don't know if you remember that. Yeah, it was very clear. And this is something, well, it was an NSA, don't make me no difference. But the last one, Mistletoe, 1953. It's clear. Oakland, 1953. That's when they started their stuff. It might have been the first case I got beating up a white boy, because, you know, he lived right there by Mother's Cookies was down here, Peter Paul, he lived across the street from Peter Paul Mounds, you know. And the white boy, Sunshine Biscuit was right, this is 81st Avenue, this was an industrial area. And the white boy said, if you give me a box of candy, I give you 35 cents. I was 8 years old. I said, shoot, that's some big deal, 35 cents. In those days at 8 years old, was big money. Yeah, shoot, I went and got him a box of candy, and he run in the house. I just waited on him, and I whooped his behind. And his daddy called the police. I couldn't tell him I whooped the white boy's behind because I stole the doggone thing of, but that's when my record starts. And it says on there, robbery, 1953, and I'm 8 years old. But that's what the record says.
Not shoplifting, but robbery.
Robbery.
Like he an 80-year-old gangster.
No,
Right.
see, I whooped him and I took the 35 cents. So they said that's robbery. Not petty theft or nothing. The way, you know how they do little Negroes. The point is that whatever they've been doing since that time, when I go back, I can study the engineering process. By the time I get to 1964, 65, everything is happening for a good reason when I look at it now. When I was in the penitentiary, I was supposed to come home in 1964, maybe around February or something. We had a riot in the field house the month before. They took me to the hole, it's a long story, and I got another year. I had already accepted Nation of Islam teaching in 1963, but that last year, I spent a whole extra year. That discipline, no smoking, vegetarian, you know, going back and forth to the hole a few extra times. When I came home, I was ready. If I'd have came home the year before, I'd have probably went back to the corner, drinking wine, what everybody did in California at that time. They did me the greatest favor by illegally giving me an extra year. But they can do it. Everything that they have done. I told you, it was my friends working for the police that got me involved in drugs to divert me from the political issues because of, you know, black nationalists. And this is rare in California. You know, and don't eat no pork. Don't get high. Exercise every day. And working on a job, and the people thought I was rich within a few months. Of course, I didn't have no vices, and I worked much overtime. Shoot, I had 11 pair of shoes. Getting a new car, I had me a Riviera. You know, this is a 64 Riviera. Good God Almighty! And just like that, and the habits we got is pulling people away from foolishness into something constructive. They didn't like that. Okay. So they did that. I thank them for that. Because going through drugs, I went all over the world. I learned about power, wealth. 90% of what I have now came from back then, 80%. When I became a Muslim, I was already ready for all the stuff they do now and then. I was already ready for that. So that was a lot prepared. That's why I read that ayat before. Don't you know I was with you all along? I brought you up under my own eyes. You didn't get killed in all that drugs when everybody else did because you wasn't supposed to. I was teaching you and training you and educating you. And it's the same thing with the politics of everything now. So we have to educate all the people. We got all the news, we got all of the evidence and everything. You know, it's not only, now remember, the momentum is going our way. The momentum is going our way. And everybody, we don't have no allies, we don't have not one single visible ally. None, we don't have any. We was in a favorite country a while ago. I just talk about the story, I won't say who it was. And so, what they said, Jack, well, the names have been changed to protect the innocent. Well, these are innocent. All the while I was there, I was watching a TV program showing how this country is used as a transit for drugs. There ain't too much there because of the death penalty. You have over an ounce of anything. So it's to cut the population down and cut the, you know, so, but there's Afghanistan and they can transit it through there and then shoot it up to Europe. So my friends, and they're confiscating tons of everything. So some of my so-called friends, was as they usually do, getting advice about certain things. So now they come with the kicker. They're not going to help me at all, so they want to find a way to, so they say they don't want to hear nothing about psychological guerrilla warfare. They don't want to know nothing about all the victories, and I'm telling them, no, this is what's happening. And if you help me, this is the way I'm going. Well, we know better. I said, you don't know better. Look what we did, and this, that. I said, that's good, and you did good there. But I know what's happening in America, and that's what I'm going to do. So you can help or you could not help. But this is what we're gonna do. So then they come in, and this is directly from the Negro. And I know which Negro. Is there any hope in black gangs in America revolution? I said, absolutely not, absolutely not. And I gave a quick spiel. I say, you know, Blackstone Rangers, Jeff Ford, all them. So they're in the penitentiary for the second go-round. So the United States thoroughly infiltrates all the gangs. That's why you got Crips fighting Bloods, and they have a temporary reunion, but they keep on. I said the drug gangs in Mexico. Why you think that they get real big and then they start fighting each other when they was friends before? I said because there's people in them. So there's no help in the gangs. We want you to tell us how we can do such and such a thing to America. I said, I don't believe in all of that, what y'all talking about. I said, if I catch anybody doing anything, I'm gonna deal with you personally myself, because you'll spoil everything. We already fine. So I said, I'll think about it for a few days, and I thought about it. Now, this is what somebody said. I said, I know I didn't say nothing like this. I said, look, you want to destroy America? You want to get back at it, really? I said, y'all are confiscating how many tons of crystal meth, how many tons of opium and heroin from Afghanistan? Tons and tons. I said, somebody told me that if you want to knock America, you want to corrupt him. You want to corrupt him. You want to corrupt the elite, you send cocaine and girls in on the elite. You see the general so-and-so, there's that little girlfriend. Every one of them, you send cocaine and white girls, or nigger girls, whichever one belongs as a girl.
Boys.
Yeah, some of them. I said, you want to corrupt him, you want to knock him over, you want to hold him hostage, you want to blackmail. You do this program for a few months, and if you want to, you don't have to worry about eating the core out of America. That heroin from Afghanistan is 100% heroin. I didn't say this. There was some guy that was talking, I heard him because he spoke English. Told him, if you want to break America, don't waste all that time. I said, the only thing the guy said is gangs, load them up with the product and training, and you'll have a revolution very soon. Use on them what they use on everybody else, and nothing they can do about it. Nothing. And money, you don't have to worry about the Defense Department or nothing. Just the stuff, I didn't say it, just the stuff that you confiscated. From the reports I saw on the documentaries, and I'm even looking at it, I said, boy, that's some good dog there, boy. You'll kill everybody, but I said, nah, you're going to kill a few Negroes, but the Negroes, don't you worry about them. They are already slaughtered over and over again. And you put a little aside to help rebuild the Negro community, and actually later on to help build white folks too, because you're going to put the industrial bank of, what's the name in Canada, investment banks of Europe. You're going to run the money there, then you're going to invest that, and you're going to take half of it for the Defense Department. It won't take long. All you got to do, keep it rolling and step back. Imam Khomeini said, I know what don't tell me what Imam Khomeini said. I told you, I didn't say this, but I said, the only issue is the issue. I said, I heard the guy right there, he said, there's an issue of Sharia. It's the only issue. And the guy was telling me, he said, you asked me what to do, and you refused what's already working. That's Sharia. Imam Khomeini, not Imam Khomeini, but Imam such and such said, and I said, you ain't been with no Imam, so and so. Your behavior. That's why you ain't seen me go nowhere, and I don't know when. And ain't nobody friendly. And the guy that was saying it, they put his face in the newspaper the next day. Not to say this is a nice guy, but to say this guy is with them, the rock bar.
The vilified.
Yeah, that wasn't, or else you'd be getting invitations from all over the world if it was, you're the expert. You done told them everything, the articles lays it out. So we're in a big deal. We're in a big deal right now. We're not on no second base or third base, you know what I mean? Right now, we're in the game, big time. And this is all a blessing from Allah. Okay, now, everybody knows it, but they don't know what to do. And they buying them off big time. Or what's the name said at the thing out there? People are caring. Well, we're making a lot of progress. You just don't know about it. Progress. The next day, they said, well, what's the Negro from up there in Minnesota or something?
Keith Ellison. Keith Ellison.
Yeah, that's these clowns' homeboy, big time. And they said, we're going to run him for the... I said, well, thank you very much for telling me what they gave you niggas, Adams. You see what I mean? They sell out. They gon' yeah.
Remember the meeting we went to 3 weeks ago? Yeah. They said the dilemma they were having, it wasn't money. It's the money they sent out.
Yeah.
I got it written down. How?
Yeah.
$250 billion they say they sent out the country.
Yeah. Well, of course.
That's $250 billion, man.
Yeah, but you got to remember who these are now. Remember the amount of Masjid they have. Remember, just imagine those boxes out in the MCC. They still have them stacks of boxes for Eid.
Well, I can't see them from where I usually am, but I'm sure they do, because definitely most,